Hello everyone. So I am here to discuss on the follow-up concept of the inverting Schmidt-Trigger circuit, that is non-inverting Schmidt-Trigger circuit. Okay. So there, while discussing the inverting Schmidt-Trigger circuit in previous video, so we have proved that how it is possible to convert a given analog signal to a square wave. Okay. So there the conversion from analog input to the digital output. So that is what we have achieved. Okay. So here also the objective remains same. So again you are supposed to apply the sinusoidal input and that has to be converted to either to square wave or rectangular wave. Okay, that itself is the application of using the Schmidt-Trigger circuit. Okay, so here the only difference between the inverting and non-inverting Schmidt-Trigger circuit is that here input is applied to non-inverting terminal. Okay, so there in inverting Schmidt-Trigger circuit the input was applied to inverting terminal of the op-amp. Okay, so the only difference in this waveform is that there you used to get the inverted output. Okay, so here you are getting the non-inverted output. The reason is being that you are making use of a non-inverting Schmidt-Trigger circuit. Okay, so non-inverted output in the sense what both input and output must be in phase with each other. Okay, so as far as this particular video is concerned, so we just concentrate on how it is possible to convert a given analog signal to a digital output, that is either square wave or rectangular one. Okay, then finally we will conclude this explanation by discussing with the hysteresis curve. Okay, now let us begin with the working. Okay, so I hope you have understood the previous concept, inverting Schmidt-Trigger circuit. Okay, the analysis remains exactly same. Okay, the same way how to analyze here. So just concentrate on this circuit here. Okay, so just by looking at this circuit, so here you can say that the diagram itself begins with the non-inverting. So input voltage is applied to non-inverting terminal of the op-amp and inverting terminal is being grounded here. Okay, so and you are making use of two resistors here. Okay, so one is connected to the non-inverting terminal and there is one more resistor that is connected at the feedback path. Okay, so here as far as this particular circuit is concerned, make use of this circuit, this kind of configuration. So where this inverting terminal is being grounded. So this means what the value of voltage at inverting terminal of the op-amp will be always 0. It will be always 0. Okay, now let us consider some example here. So you consider the one particular value of input voltage, then finally you check what is the value of triggering voltages you will get, and finally you check is it possible to convert sine wave to rectangular or square wave or not. Okay, now first let us calculate the upper triggering point and lower triggering point here. So this resistance R1 which is connected to non-inverting terminal of the op-amp, so here only you are applying the input voltage. So input voltage will be developed across resistance R1 and output voltage is fed back as input to non-inverting terminal of the op-amp. This means what is output voltage will be developed across resistance R2. Okay, now whatever the voltage that develops across this resistance R1, that is VR1. Okay, if it is positive, then this will be your upper triggering point. If it is negative, then that will be your lower triggering point. Now first let us calculate the triggering voltages here, which is compulsory. Okay, so the value of upper triggering point, okay, now it is written as plus VR1. So we can calculate the voltage at this resistance R1 by applying the voltage divider rule. So that will be equal to V0 into R1 divided by R1 plus R2. V0 into R1 divided by R1 plus R2. So here also the condition remains same as that of inverting Schmidt-Trigger circuit. The values of R1 and R2 must be equal. Okay, so consider equal values of R1 and R2 either 1 kilo ohm or 10 kilo ohm. And let us say the value of output voltage is 40 nodes. You can consider any value of output voltage for your own analysis. Okay, so right now output voltage is 40 node. Values of R1 and R2 are equal. Okay, now calculate plus VR1 here, that is nothing but your upper triggering point or upper triggering voltage. So here you will get it as 7 ohm. It will be plus 7 ohm. Okay, similarly if you want to calculate the lower triggering point, so this will be minus VR1. So the formula remains same except a bit that the output will switch to minus V0 saturation. Output voltage will be negative. So in that case V0 is 40, value of R1 and R2 are equal. So you will get minus 7 ohms. Okay, now for your own analysis here, so we have considered upper triggering point as 7 ohm, lower triggering point as minus 7 ohm. Okay, now let us deal with this particular circuit right now. So for the first step, we have to calculate what is the value of upper triggering point and this lower triggering point. Okay, now so let us deal with this analysis here the same way how you have done for inverting symmetrical circuit. Okay, at this point what will be the value of input voltage? It will be 0. So the value of input voltage is 0. So input voltage here, so it will be 0 here. Okay, so when input voltage is 0, where your output is resting? At this point your output is at minus V0 saturation. So when output is at minus V0 saturation, so it means what, your output voltage is negative. So if output voltage is negative, then you will get a lower triggering point. What is the value of lower triggering point? It is minus 7 volt. Okay, now output voltage will be developed across this resistance R2. So this minus 7 volt will be fed back as input here. This will be minus 7 volt. Okay, now you can raise a question here. Okay, when input voltage is 0, okay, so why output voltage remains at minus V0 saturation? Okay, so very important thing to be considered here. So the reason why when input voltage is 0, output remains at minus V0 saturation is just because, so here the previous cycle is been considered. If you consider the previous negative half cycle here, okay, you are at negative half cycle, so you will get a lower triggering point, okay, which will be in negative value, so output always remains at minus V0 saturation. So therefore, so if your output is at minus V0 saturation, you are supposed to consider the lower triggering point, which I have calculated as minus 7 volt. Now this minus 7 volt will be fed back as input here. Value of input voltage is 0. So here voltage available at non-inverting terminal is how much? Minus 7 volt. So here voltage is 0 volt. So basically it is a comparator circuit. Okay, which I have already told you in the previous video. It is a comparator circuit. Only thing is that if you include a positive feedback, then you have to call it as a schematic trigger circuit. Now input is applied to non-inverting terminal, so you are calling it as a non-inverting symmetric trigger circuit. That's it. Okay. Now, as it acts as a comparator here, it compares these two voltages. Okay. Now voltage at non-inverting terminal of the op amp is minus 7 volt. Voltage at inverting terminal of the op amp will be always 0 volt. Okay, now compare these two. At which terminal of the op amp the voltage is more? Yes, voltage at inverting terminal of the op amp is more, because here the value is negative. So if voltage at inverting terminal of the op amp is more, then output always remains at minus V0 saturation. Therefore, when input voltage is 0, output remains at minus V0 saturation. Okay, now under what condition? So output will switch back to plus V0 saturation here. So you are dealing with the schematic trigger circuit. Until and unless, so the input finds the value of upper triggering point or lower triggering point, the output will not change its position. Okay, now, so go on increasing the input voltage here. Increase the input voltage. Okay, let us say this is your 20 volt peak to peak input voltage. So here, go on increasing this one. At this point, let us say the value of input voltage is 6 volt here. Okay, value of input voltage is 6 volt. Okay, now what is the value of this voltage available here? So this will be minus 7 volt. So if you subtract these two voltages, 6 volt here and minus 7 volt here, so resultant voltage is how much? Minus 1 volt. If the resultant voltage is minus 1 volt here, so still voltage at inverting terminal of the op amp is more. Therefore, output remains at this minus V0 saturation only. Now, at this particular point, you can see here, this is your upper triggering point and this is your lower triggering point. Now input is increasing in positive half cycle, so it will find the triggering point here, upper triggering point. Okay, so when this input voltage increases and just process this upper triggering point, then input voltage identifies that there is a triggering voltage here. So in that case, so triggering means what? So the output has to change its position. So immediately output switches from minus V0 saturation to plus V0 saturation. Okay. Now the question here is that, so when input just crosses this upper triggering point, so what makes this output to switch to plus V0 saturation? What is the exact reason behind that? Okay. Now let us consider at this point voltage is 7.1 volt. Value of input voltage. So value of input voltage is 7.1 volt. Okay. And what is the voltage? Low triggering point here, it is minus 7 volt. Subtract these two now. Okay, so here minus 7 volt, here we have a 7.1. So the resultant voltage will be how much? Plus 0.1 volt. Now compare these two voltages, 0.1 volt and 0 volt, which is fixed here. Voltage at non-inverting terminal of the op amp is more. so this makes, okay, so where voltage is more, this makes output to switch from minus V naught saturation to plus V naught saturation. Okay, now at plus V naught saturation, okay, so output value will be positive. If output is positive, what will be the value of upper triggering point now? It will be plus 7 volt. Now this 7 volt output voltage will be developed across this resistance R2, which will be fed back as input here. Now the voltage available at this point is how much? 7 volt, and this voltage has to be added here, that 0.1 volt. Okay, so here we will get 7.1 volt. So still voltage at non-inverting terminal of the op amp is more, output remains at plus V naught saturation only. Okay, again you increase the value of input voltage, say 8 volt, 9 volt, 10 volt. Okay, as long as the voltage at non-inverting terminal is positive, the output remains at this plus V naught saturation only. Okay, so under what condition output will switch back to minus V naught saturation? Until and unless voltage at non-inverting terminal again goes to negative value. Okay, now see. So again we increase the input voltage, output remains at plus V naught saturation only, because voltage at non-inverting terminal of the op amp will be more than the voltage at inverting terminal. Okay, now input voltage is decreasing, and it will reach the zero value. Value of input voltage at this point is 0 volt. Input voltage is 0 volt here. But what is the voltage available at non-inverting terminal of the op amp? It is 7 volt. Still voltage at non-inverting terminal is more. It is positive only. So output remains at plus V naught saturation. Now input is decreasing. Let us say at this point value of input voltage is minus 6 volt. Now input is moving in negative half cycle. So if you consider this value of input voltage is minus 6 volt. Let us say here it is minus 6 volt. But voltage available at non-inverting terminal, which is being fed back by this output voltage, it is 7 volt. So minus 6 volt here, 7 volt here. So we will get plus 1 volt yet. Therefore, voltage at non-inverting terminal will be more. Therefore, output remains at plus V naught saturation only. Now see, when it just crosses this lower triggering point now. Okay, let us say at this point value of this input voltage is minus 7.1. Okay, voltage at this particular point is minus 7.1. Here it is minus 7.1 volt. Okay, here voltage available is 7 volt. Now what will be the resultant voltage? So here you will get minus 0.1 volt. Compare here. So here voltage available is minus 0.1. Here voltage is always 0 volt. So now voltage at inverting terminal of the op amp is more. So therefore output immediately switches from plus V naught saturation to minus V naught saturation. So it finds that there is a triggering point. Okay, if there is a triggering point, what makes the output to switch from plus V naught saturation to minus V naught saturation? This one. Because voltage at inverting terminal of the op amp is more. Because it continuously compares these two voltages. Therefore, output switches to minus V naught saturation. Okay, so again you increase voltage at negative half cycle, output remains at this minus V naught saturation only until and unless again voltage at non-inverting terminal is more. Okay, so again you will find one more triggering point here. You go on increasing the voltage in positive half cycle. Once it again crosses the upper triggering point here, then what will happen? So voltage at non-inverting terminal of the op amp, it becomes more. Okay, then the output switches from minus V naught saturation to plus V naught saturation. Now see, one of the important observation what you have to do here is that, so look at the shape of these two waveform here. This is your input waveform, so this one is your output waveform. Sine wave input, so this rectangular output or square wave output. So here, so see here, both input and output are in phase with each other. Magnitude differs, but they are in phase with each other. Okay, this means what? So output is following the input. So what would be the reason behind that? It is just because you are making use of a non-inverting schematic trigger circuit. Input is applied to non-inverting terminal of the op amp. So again in negative half cycle, output follows the input. So you are getting the non-inverted output. Okay, so this is how you can convert a given analog signal to a digital signal. Okay, so now concentrate on this hysteresis curve. Okay, while dealing with the hysteresis curve of inverting schematic trigger circuit, okay, so the way how you have analyzed, the analysis remains same. Only change is that, so here when input voltage is 0, there you used to consider, so this clockwise direction. of movement of the output voltage. So here you just have to consider the anti-clockwise direction. This is just for your reference. Okay. Now concentrate here. So when input voltage was 0, okay, see, x-axis is input voltage, you already know it. Y-axis is your output voltage. Okay, hysteresis curve is always drawn between input and output voltages. Okay, and this hysteresis curve is also called as transfer characteristics, or it is also called as input-output characteristics. Okay, all are same. Now, when input voltage was 0, where was your output was resting? While dealing with the circuit diagram waveform, it was at minus V naught saturation. Therefore, output remains at minus V naught saturation only here. Okay, so when input voltage was 0. Now increase the input voltage in positive half cycle. Okay, so until and unless it crosses this triggering point, output remains at minus V naught saturation only. Okay, when this input voltage just crosses this upper triggering point, okay, even so millivolts of increase in voltage, so that will make the output switch from minus V naught saturation to plus V naught saturation. Okay, it has found the value of triggering point here, therefore output switches from minus V naught saturation to plus V naught saturation. Okay, now again you go on increasing the value of input voltage, output remains at plus V naught saturation. Okay, now so reduce the value of input voltage, okay, towards 0, output remains at plus V naught saturation only. Okay, now so go on varying the input voltage in negative half cycle. So value of input voltage minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 like that. Go on reducing the value of input voltage in negative half cycle. So output still remains at plus V naught saturation only. Okay. Now when you are reducing the value of input voltage in negative half cycle, when it just crosses this lower triggering point, then output switches from plus V naught saturation to minus V naught saturation. Okay, so as long as this input again crosses this upper triggering voltage, the output remains at minus V naught saturation only, and the cycle repeats. Okay, so the analysis of the circuit diagram waveform, if you understood this, the same thing is being represented here. Okay, now what is the main purpose of this hysteresis curve here? Okay, you just want to know that. Okay, so you want to eliminate all the noises that are present in the input signal. Okay, you should avoid that any false switching of the output voltage. False switching of output voltage is not acceptable. Okay, so here you can see that whenever input voltage is lying between this lower triggering voltage and upper triggering voltage, there is no any variation of output voltage. There is no any false triggering of the output voltage. So whenever the input just crosses either of these two triggering voltages, then only output voltage is changing its position. Okay, so this hysteresis value, you already know it. So it is been calculated as difference between upper triggering voltage and lower triggering voltage. Okay, you know the value of these two triggering voltages, so I should find the value of this hysteresis. Is VUT minus VLT. Okay, so the application is just this. The application where you are planning to convert analog signal to digital signal, so then you can make use of this kind of circuit, that is non-inverting schematic circuit. Okay, I hope you have understood the concept. Okay, just go through this video lecture again. So if you find any difficulty, then feel free to ask the question.